Hey, you won't believe what I've been digging into. Rail Vikas Nigam Limited's RVNL latest financial results. Q3 for 2024-25 won the scoop.
RVNL, huh? Sure, laid on me. I know they're in the rail infrastructure game, but what's been cooking lately?
Well, they've just filed their unaudited financial results, both standalone and consolidated, for the quarter and 9 months ending December 31st, 2024. The board gave it the green light on February 14th, 2025. And so, yeah, this is all according to CB regulations, which, keeps everything nice and transparent.
Right, gotta love those regulations. Keeps everyone honest, hopefully. But what's the business model in a nutshell, and who are their key subsidiaries?
Okay, so RVNL is all about developing rail infrastructure. That's their bread and butter. And as for subsidiaries, they've got a bunch, including HSRC Infra Services in India and RVNL Infra in South Africa. They also have joint ventures like the Kutch Railway Company.
Got it. So mostly domestic focus with some international ventures sprinkled in. Any big strategic moves recently that we should keep in mind, like acquisitions or anything?
Not in this report, but it's always something to watch for, since those can really shake up both standalone and consolidated numbers. I mean, actually.
Totally. So let's dive into the good stuff, the financials. What are the key figures looking like for both standalone and consolidated results?
All right, buckle up. For standalone, the revenue from operations for the quarter is 4,590.75 crore rupees. The net profit after tax is 294.99 crore rupees. Earnings per share or EP is 1.41 rupees. I mean, not bad.
Interesting. And how do those standalone figures stack up against the consolidated ones? Are we seeing a big difference?
Okay, so on the consolidated front, revenue from operations is pretty similar at 4,567.38 crore rupees. Net profit is 311.58 crore rupees. And EPS is 1.49 rupees. So the consolidated numbers are a tad higher, reflecting the contributions from subsidiaries and joint ventures.
Makes sense. Now, were there any one-time events or extraordinary items that might have skewed these numbers?
Nope, nothing flagged as an exceptional item in this report. It seems like pretty standard operations. So
good. That makes it easier to get a clear picture. What about comparisons to previous periods? Are they up, down, or sideways?
Okay, so comparing this quarter to the same quarter last year, the standalone revenue is down a bit from 4,675.85 crore rupees. Net profit is also down from 325.98 crore rupees. But if you look at the 9-month figures, the revenue is down from 15,031.89 crore rupees to 13,524.24 crore rupees. Actually, the net profit is down too, from 1,029.63 crore rupees to 815.25 crore rupees.
A bit of a dip. Anything in the report to explain that?
Not explicitly, but we can dig deeper into the expense side. The expense of operation is down year on year for the 9-month period, but not enough to offset the drop in revenue, I guess.
Gotcha. Now, how about the balance sheet? Any red flags popping up in terms of solvency or liquidity?
Well, the report doesn't give us all the balance sheet details, so it's hard to say for sure right now. We'd need to see things like debt levels and asset quality. We have to remember, though, that disclaimer: we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Absolutely. Always good to have a second opinion. Moving on, how's the cash flow looking? Is RVNL swimming in cash or are they running a bit dry?
Again, the detailed cash flow statement isn't in this report. But based on the profit figures, they seem to be generating cash. We'd need to see the full statement to know for sure if they're able to sustain dividends.
True. And speaking of dividends, did they announce any? Record date, payment date, the whole shebang?
Unfortunately, no mention of dividends in this filing, so we'll have to wait for further announcements on that front.
All right, what about those key financial ratios? Like, are their margins healthy? And how much debt are they carrying?
We can calculate some of the profitability ratios. For standalone, the net profit margin for the quarter is about 6.4%, which is down from last year's 7%. I mean, without the balance sheet, we can't calculate debt to equity, but something to note.
Okay, so margins are a bit squeezed, got it. What's the deal with that Krishnapatnam Railway Company Limited, KRCL situation they mentioned?
Yeah, that's a bit of a sticking point. RVNL has incurred expenses on a railway project for KRCL, a joint venture, but KRCL hasn't been paying up as per the agreement. The amount recoverable is 1,441.01 crore rupees as of December 31st, 2024, which includes a whopping 927.21 crore rupees in interest.
Ouch, that's a hefty sum. Are they worried about getting that money back?
Well, the auditors included an emphasis of matter about it in their report. So it's definitely a concern. Plus, KRCL is asking for a waiver of departmental charges, which RVNL is considering, but the board hasn't made a decision yet.
So it's kind of a double whammy, unpaid bills and a potential waiver of future charges. Not ideal. How does this KRCL issue affect the consolidated financials?
Good question. The auditors mentioned the KRCL issue in the consolidated report too. So it's impacting both standalone and consolidated results.
Right, because it's a joint venture. That makes sense.
Yeah. Also, it's worth noting that the consolidated results for the financial year 2023-24 have been restated, showing a net decrease in profits of 24.95 crore rupees. It's due to differences between provisional and audited financials of joint ventures, associates, and subsidiaries.
Okay, so a bit of housekeeping to keep the numbers accurate. Anything else jump out at you from the auditor's report?
Well, the auditor for the consolidated results mentioned that the interim financial results of some subsidiaries and joint ventures haven't been reviewed by their respective auditors, but they don't think it's a material issue.
Fair enough. So, summing it all up, what's your overall take on RVNL's performance this quarter?
Well, revenue and profit are down compared to last year, and that KRCL situation is a worry. It's worth digging deeper into their operational efficiency and how they're managing that KRCL receivable.
Agreed. It sounds like RVNL has some challenges to navigate. What do you think about their future outlook? Are they poised for growth or are there too many headwinds?
It's hard to say without more info on their order book and strategic plans. Infrastructure projects can be lumpy, so one quarter doesn't necessarily make or break them. We have to wait and see if they can resolve this KRCL issue.
True. Infrastructure is a long game. Do you think they will be able to keep paying out dividends?
Without the details of the cash flow statement, it is tricky to ascertain whether they will be able to continue dividends.
Well, folks, that's the breakdown. Thanks for walking us through RVNL's financials. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more in-depth analysis.
Thanks for having me. I hope everyone found that insightful.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
So to summarize, RVNL's Q3 results show a slight dip in revenue and profit. The whole KRCL situation is definitely something to watch.
Definitely. Okay, great coverage. Anything else?
Okay, so just as a reminder, the board meeting commenced at 17:30 Hrs and concluded at 19:15 Hrs on February 14th. 2025.
Perfect. Very thorough. All right, that wraps it up for today. Thanks again for tuning in.